Hello, my name is Kathy Stanley Galvin, Mayor of the Town of Stoneville. Thank you for joining us today. At this time, please be respectful and silence or cut off your cell phone. As Mayor, I call this meeting to order today at 4:30 on Tuesday, February the 3rd. Let us stand for the pledge, please. Following the pledge, Mayor Pro Tem will lead us in prayer. Councilwoman Smith, will you lead us in the pledge? Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we gather today with the responsibilities of making decisions that will affect many. Guide us in these choices, that they are fair, ethical, and aligned with your wisdom. Let guidance be our compass as we navigate through this meeting. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda for this afternoon?
So moved.
I have a motion from Councilman Bennett, a second.
I second.
Councilwoman Jessica Smith, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from last month?
So moved.
I have a motion from Councilman Thornton, a second.
Second.
Councilwoman Daisy Smith, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. We have no public comments for this afternoon, so we'll go ahead and start with new business. And the first will be Ms. Mavis Dillon from Western Rockingham Chamber of Commerce.
Good evening, Council. Mr. Sands, do you have the thing to go up? The PowerPoint?
I only have it for the stream.
Okay. Well, I can... Oh, okay, you got a copy. Okay. Good evening, Town Council and Mayor and Town Manager. Mavis Dillon, I'm with the Western Rockingham Chamber of Commerce. Want to give you a little bit of background of what's been going on. Probably back in 2 or 3 years ago, when you start looking at larger chambers of commerce, they have a nonprofit underneath the umbrella of their chamber. And all chambers are a 501c6, which means we can't go after grants. And so, like, I think Greensboro's chamber is Greater Greensboro, something like that. So it had sort of always been in the back of my mind to maybe do this. And so Eden got a jump on us, and that's okay. I got this for Christmas, and I cut my phone off. I don't know how to cut this sucker off.
It's okay.
But anyway, finally we went with Seth Woodall because he's the one that did the one for the Eden Chamber. And I think theirs is Greater Eden or something like that. So we pulled together the title of Western Rockingham Alliance. And you'll see that in your packet. I'm not going to read all the little bubbles. But hopefully this nonprofit will help our whole area, the western side, or the west side, as the county refers us to, maybe enhance things in our community. We will go after grants to maybe help some other nonprofits or local businesses, your merchants. I don't know how your merchants work. I know Madison May didn't have a merchants guild. That's a 501c6. And really, the board is not completely finalized for this alliance. I know Christy Smith with a claim, she has volunteered to be on the board. And actually, I was speaking with her on the way in here today. But we are looking at possibly this year's overall purpose, and I know I'm behind the 8 ball, but to look at the 250-year celebration of the United States. That's sort of going to be our overall theme. We want to get schools involved on some activities. We're hoping that we can have some group that would look at fireworks somewhere, different things. Actually, we've even revamped our whole dinner idea. It's going to be on a 250 anniversary, maybe looking at some of our older businesses. We've got some in our area that have been in business 50 years and plus. That might be what we highlight on in our PowerPoint or in our slideshow for our annual dinner in April. And we will really try to hit the schools, our nonprofit churches, anybody that's a member, as well as our local businesses. Maybe we'll do a contest of storefront decorations, or everybody for the month of July, you have something up with the 4th of July or something with red, white, and blue. Each month, we're hoping we can come up with some type of thing that we will highlight and look at the 200, and somehow embrace the 250th birthday of our United States. And you all might already have some stuff working, I don't know, in the works. But we want to join you with that. I do have a meeting tomorrow, or I have a phone conference with Hank Henning, who is over the Duke Energy, I guess, public relations person. I've met with him twice. He actually, well, he didn't, but the Eden, a nonprofit under their chamber, did receive $25,000 back in late fall, October, November. So I'm not above. I've sent him the PowerPoint. I've sent him a really colorful email asking about what we want to start as far as some seed money and so forth. So hopefully that meeting will go, or that conference call will go well tomorrow afternoon, and I'll let you all know. I'll let Mr. Sands, I'll give him an update on how that meeting goes. I'll be presenting to Mayodan next Tuesday evening at their meeting. Any questions about that? I know the Rotary does a lot of your fall festival, so it might even be, even though they're a nonprofit, we could, if you've submitted an application for a grant, we could help partner with that as well. In my mind, and again, this would be for the board to decide, I've reached out to a couple other people. Lee Mitchell might serve on the board. This will be a much smaller board. It won't be for like 3 or 4 people. But in my mind, I'm looking that if somebody comes and their project is a $10,000 project, we would possibly look at matching up to half of that, $5,000 towards the 10. That's sort of, I won't, and I'm not trying to be ugly, but I think whoever asks for money, they got to have some teeth in it as well. And so they just can't come and say, we want you to fund this whole project, especially if it's $10,000 or $15,000. We'll also look at some other places. Actually, Christy sits on a board meeting with the person that's the CEO of the State Employees Credit Union. She'll see that person next week. They do a lot of stuff for education, and they have a grant cycle. So it might be that we could secure some grant with the State Employee Credit Union and fund some of our educational activities. I'm welcome to any ideas, any suggestions. We would like to have some seed money. We have 0 right now. We don't even have a checking account. Christy has said that as a financial institute that she would be willing to give $1,000 seed money if we could maybe get the rest of our financial institutes to come in and also do the $1,000, which would be First Bank, First Citizens, First National, who else? Truist.
Wells Fargo?
Wells is not a member of ours, so I guess it's State Employees Credit Union. So we have 6 banks that are members now. Acclaim, I've got my A's mixed up. First National, First Citizens, First Bank, State Employees Credit Union, and Acclaim. I think there's 5. So if each one of those would do $1,000 seed money, that would at least get the account opened up and running.
So this is like the chamber?
But it would be
It's
under the
umbrella.
chamber, and it's a 501c3. When you start filling out grants, it has to be a 501c3.
Right.
And I do have a little bit of background. Before I retired, I did secure a Golden Leaf grant of like $350,000. And I also secured a federal grant for Gear Up, which was $2.5 million. That one was a lot of numbers and crunching numbers, but I have done some grant writing. Not a lot, but some.
So when this is applied for, so this is already a done deal, that it's already set up?
Well, it's not. No, we just got the name and sending the information out.
Okay.
We're hoping that we can get some money.
Well, once you apply for it, when you apply, it's pretty much you get it as long as you set all the qualifications that they need.
Yeah, he's done our paperwork.
Yeah.
Seth Woodall has sent it all into the state, and our regular board has been aware of all of this.
Gotcha.
I think we started in July, actually. I thought we started later than that, but when I went back to look at my emails with Seth, it was actually July of '24.
So when you start that board, that'll be a board that as those board members will go off and on, just like the chamber and rotate.
Yeah.
Like a 3-year term.
Yeah. Trying to get equal representation
Right.
within our area. And I actually put it out on my e-blast that if anyone was interested to email us, if they were interested in serving on this board. So, Christie was one of the first ones. Lee Mitchell showed an interest. At first I had a bunch of women. And I said, well, let's see if Lee's interested, let's pull him in. Might have a couple of community people. I don't know if you all know this person, but Hannah Knight Joy. Hannah she's born and raised off of 311, went to McMichael. She's in the banking industry. I've just chit-chatted with her at dinner at our place a couple of times. I sent her an email. She was going to talk to her boss about securing some funds, and she's with the banking industry as well. So that's been all sort of very casual. But she has a child at the School of Math and Science and a child that's a freshman at McMichael. So she would sort of be a community person. She doesn't have a business. She's not in the chamber per se, but she's born and raised here, lived here, went off to college, came back. And we need somebody she's probably, she graduated in '99, so she's 45 years old. 45, turning 46. You know her.
Are the banks the only ones that you're going to be looking to for seed money?
Well, no, we'll take anything. You want me to pass the hat? We will, we'll probably, we'll probably locally approach maybe McMichael Foundation at some point. We'll look at, I actually got a link the other day, and Christy and I worked a couple of hours one evening after 3 o'clock, because my hours are 10 to 3, so I'm trying to wear multiple hats and try not to do this on the chamber time. There was something I found on the Department of Commerce. I don't know, I've got it saved on my desktop, but it actually had some local grants and some stuff that are federal, some that are state. I actually shared it with Lindsay Pegg because some of them were trail grants that she had never even heard of. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Some of them are federal, some of them are not. There was a seed grant out there for seed money only, but you had to have, I think it was, they would give you $5,000 if you could come up with $5,000. It was just a seed grant only for a nonprofit, but you had to match it.
Does anyone have questions?
You'll be 150 years old in 27.
Well, that goes to my next comment real quick. ROCO is Home is another nonprofit foundation. I'm not sure y'all have seen that. They are wanting to do a chili cook-off within each area. And they approached the chamber about helping with that. So it's going to be in Madison, actually, on March the 14th. And when I shared that with Mr. Sands, he asked if he could take Stoneville. They want to do it for at least 3 more years, so it'll go maybe to Mayodan in when are y'all turning under 50? 27? So probably Stoneville will have it in 27, this chili cook-off, and then in 28, Mayodan will host it. We're trying to get some people throughout the area to enter it. You don't have to be a business. You can be an individual. It'll be just from like 10 to 12. It's not an all-day event, just a chili cook-off. And maybe it might be a theme around St. Patrick's Day on March the 14th. So I'm going to leave these, if y'all can have them at your town hall, in case anybody's interested. So it doesn't have to be a restaurant. It could be the fire department. It could be the police department. Anybody could enter that chili cook-off, and the the participants that come around, they pay so much, and they go around and taste, and they select the winners. They did it, I think, at Eden last year, and it went pretty well. Any questions on that? And then the other thing is our dinner is April the 16th. I think it's a Thursday night. And we're going to tie in this 250-year thing in the dinner now. And it'll be at White Oak Terrace, which is where the Bonamassa used to be off of 704. And if you haven't been, you need to come. Correct, Kathy?
It's fun. You'll have a good time.
Yep. Your
Especially the
very
last
own
one.
Robert Stanley is our auctioneer, and it is hilarious.
He can sell a jar of peanuts for $150.
$100 some, yep.
They'll
Crazy.
auction it off, you know?
Yes. So we'll be asking for a few little gift baskets to auction off when it comes time closer to that. Mr. Shelton, you have questions? You're looking at me like you got one.
No, I don't have one.
Mavis, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
I enjoy it.
You do. You can tell you do, for sure. You can tell you do. You're happy, you like what you do. The next is a consideration of resolution R-2026-01, and this is to adopt the Northern Piedmont Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
So yes, this is a follow-up to, in the 2020, the Northern Piedmont region had a hazard mitigation plan, and the town of Stoneville signed on as an adopter in, I believe it was May of '22, and the 2020 plan actually expired during the '25 fiscal year. So this organization's worked with the Piedmont region to update, revise, and make minor revisions to it. Basically, the 2025 mitigation plan is to make it so that if something were to occur, the town of Stoneville would be able to have access to both state and federal emergency funds should something be needed. So basically, the recommendation, I've shared that with Mr. Russell, I think, and other towns are considering the same, to simply accept this and adopt on as part of the new plan.
No questions. No questions. Just hold it. I'll make a motion that we adopt the 2025 Northern Piedmont Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan, resolution number R-2026-01.
So we have a motion from Councilwoman Daisy Smith. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Thornton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. And Councilman Shelton is on the phone with us. He couldn't make it today, but he is on the phone here.
And he did vote.
He did vote. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Consideration, next is a consideration to purchase administrative laptops and software for remote access.
So yeah, this particular topic has been a topic of discussion for some time, to make it available so that Mary Ann and Delia both can access files should they need during council meetings, et cetera, doing remote work from home should they need to do so, or in events where they may be at a workshop and need to access some information that's on their computers. And so through doing some investigation, VC3, our company that supports our IT services, recommended Splashtop as that remote access software. So I did a little extra. I went to my brother-in-law who serves as an IT expert at another company. He made a recommendation as well. He said that he was familiar with Splashtop and did recommend that based on what we were looking for to use. So, and then as part of that, we would, as you see there, the additional analysis gives kind of the setup. It would be an initial $350 setup fee plus $40 per device, and then a maintenance fee of $2 per month moving forward. And then as part of that, all of the laptops that are currently in the possession of Town Hall, for a better choice of terms, they're outdated. They have been there for a while. I think that has been one of the concerns even from the police department, just keeping our network, our equipment upgraded. So this request is simply to allow us to move forward with the purchase, installation of Splash Top and the purchase of up to 5,500 total for the whole project of laptops and an external monitor for both of them to be able to use this software for the benefit of the town.
Can I ask a question? So does this only provide new laptops for them, or does it replace all the ones that you're referring to that are like antiquated, so to speak, in the office?
Well, at this point in time, I don't know that there may be a third one there.
Okay, so you only need to update two? There, you only need theirs?
In reviewing this request, I looked at it, these would be the two individuals that most likely would need this software and this advanced of a computer. We do have a couple of Chromebooks that I think are functional, similar to what you have, so we felt like that if we needed additional laptops for some other purpose, we could use our Chromebooks. But in terms of using this software, yeah, primarily the two.
This software is safe, like if she has to do payroll or something at home.
Correct.
How does that work with her internet?
So,
is it safe?
so basically what, and I went to my brother-in-law who knows much more about this than I. He basically said this computer software would act as a conduit to their actual desktop. So their desktop at the office would still maintain the files. All this would be an avenue for them to get to it. All the processing, all the saving would be done just like they were sitting at their desk.
But it would
So
still be as safe though?
Yes,
secure.
yes, it is secure. That was one of the things VC3 made a recommendation, that it is a secure means of tapping into those files. Yeah,
That's what I
because
was
it does require, Splashtop does require password protection to even get into it. So they would launch the computer, but until they have that password to actually launch Splashtop, it will not access any of the files on the network.
Gotcha. Any further questions?
I will say we did give you two options on the laptop. Again, the Lenovo, both are, Mary Ann and Delia both are familiar with that setup. The E16 and the T16, both very similar computers, laptops. Again, brother-in-law said E16 would be sufficient, T16 may be more advanced than you would need. Not to say that we couldn't use it in the future for something else, but he did say that E16 probably would be strong enough because, again, the processing speed to run this program has nothing to do with the laptop itself. It's actually using the processing speed of the desktop at the office.
So is it cheaper to buy that? Because, I mean, we know as soon as we buy a laptop, a year from now, it's going to be out of date, or lease it. Because I know the price that we have here, I mean, could you lease a laptop and have it where you could turn it in and keep it updated? I don't know that.
That would have to be I'm sure, I think one of the things that we talked with VC3 is that may be an option. Because I know when they talked about doing it for the police department, that was one of the things we considered was leasing it versus, buying it outright. So I'm sure that we could check with them to see if that's an option. That would come at an additional cost, and I don't know what that would be at this time.
I mean, additional cost other than.
So it would remove the cost of the laptops, which if you got the more advanced one, it was roughly $1,800. That's what any consumer could buy it. When we looked at the business end of Lenovo, if you have an account with them, business laptops, we actually get a discount of $400 to $500. So I use the high end just to let you know what it could potentially be. But the $1,800 laptop, I think, was like $1,300. And I think when we last looked, they were actually running a sale. So, but I'm not saying leasing is not an option as well. We'd have to look into VC3 and ask their question.
If we were to lease some, what would happen to it when we turn?
They would go back to the company, to VC3 to do as they choose.
I mean, they would wipe it clean. It wouldn't be anything else, just like if you
Yeah.
buy a refurbished one.
Right.
Anywhere else. But you were saying a couple of different prices in Lovell. I mean, would they have to have the one that's the higher to make it to, I mean, I'm sure like with you doing what you have to do with the payroll and all.
Again, according, and I'm relying on family to answer your question, but he indicated in terms of processing what he said our Chromebook would actually do it if we needed it to. I'm not as comfortable with Chrome because then that gets some accessing concerns, but he said the E16 would be sufficient, have plenty of memory. He did give some specifications, said 16 gig of memory minimum. The iCore, I believe he said 7. He wouldn't go anything lower than those two was the primary components that we were looking at to be sure that the processing of the device would do it.
Based on the fact that those two of the cogs make the wheels turn in this town, I'd like to make a recommendation that we allow yourself to purchase these laptops, software.
I second that motion.
So we have a motion on the floor from Councilman Bennett, and what was your motion to make sure, because your mic wasn't on?
Yeah, to purchase administrative laptops and software for remote access. Two of those, and the fund number and description 10-4260-551.
So we have a motion on the floor from Councilman Bennett. We have a second from Councilwoman Daisy Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Was that Lee or a cow?
Next is the petition for voluntary annexation of parcel 185-849, and this would be tax pin number 7939-196-03137. Mr. Sands, when you go through that, we'll just go ahead and go farther down to A, B, and C.
So yes, so as stated, this is simply a petition for consideration for annex for this parcel. And the three components of this request includes the investigation portion, which is Resolution R 2026-02, which would direct Ms. D'Elia to take care of the investigation. She has completed this process already in advance of this request, just to have everything laid out, which creates the certificate of sufficiency. And then with that included would be then a second resolution to allow us to go ahead and set the date for review, a public hearing for this annexation request. And this parcel is the one that previously was rezoned by the Planning and Zoning Board to make it a residential property.
The only question I have regarding that piece of property, I know it's in the Shiloh Fire District. Would they Shiloh consider giving that up and let it go in the Stoneville Fire District?
Yeah, if you annex a piece of property and the fire department that has jurisdiction over it has a debt, then you have an obligation to pay a proportionate share of the debt. I don't know what the situation is with Shiloh and debt, but if it's outside the fire district, we would incur that responsibility. That's something we could check into by the time hearing takes place.
Okay. Well, that's the only that's what I noticed when I was looking at the survey map and the tax map, that it adjacents our city limits line, but yet it falls in the Shiloh Fire District. Since it's that close, I mean, it's just natural that Stoneville should have it.
Right.
That way.
And they might give it voluntarily, but if they have the right to receive funds, they might. It's not that there would be a huge sum of money. It's really based on the proportion of the debt that this piece of land helps pay for. So it might be a small one.
Exactly. Okay.
How is this going to benefit us in any way?
The taxes.
To the amount of what?
I haven't calculated that as of yet. Eugene, you've got You could put in the tax value. If the tax value is
Tax value is
$188,443.
$188,000.
Are they still putting homes?
Yeah, the plan is to put, I think the plan is to put homes on it, so that would increase a lot if they go forward with that.
Did you hear? He said yes.
Okay, I know he talked about doing like a retirement village or something last time.
Yeah, I think he does plan to develop it. What's our tax rate now?
69.
How many homes are they, want to put?
He hasn't decided.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so the land alone would generate about $1,300 in taxes, but then, you know, if you annex the property, then you have obligation to provide services to it, you know, so if he puts in homes, you know, you'd be providing police protection, that sort of thing.
And of course, if he changed it and it was residential homes, each property owner, the tax would go up.
The tax would go
Way
up,
more
but that
than
would be where you would
1,300.
get the tax.
Right,
The land
exactly.
itself would generate
Yes.
about $1,800, I think is what it is. $1,300.
13.
If he's gonna subdivide that down into lots, depending on the size of lots, and if they're a quarter of an acre.
Yes. The land value would go up if you subdivide it and put in roads or streets.
Well, then I make the motion that we proceed with the annexation.
So we have a motion from Councilman Thornton. A second?
Second.
A second, Councilwoman Daisy Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is a consideration to amend the personnel policy. This is section 32-058 on safety.
So section C of that particular, or the letter C of that section is the new addition or the amendment. It simply outlines the policy and procedure relating to dealing with bloodborne pathogens and making sure that our employees that deal with such would have access to equipment, safety equipment, and then also be offered the hepatitis B shots so that they would have that option. This was something that I think the town had in place in terms of it being there, but it was not in writing. So this is to simply make it official that this is the policy of the town to allow, and it would pretty much cover our fire department, police department, and public works, because all of them have the potential of being exposed to any one of these items that could cause harm to them. So this is simply to request to amend the personnel policy with this language.
What about first aid classes also? I think that would be something that would be very wise to have.
So our fire department will go through that training, police department goes through that type of training. I'm not sure, Byron, do your guys?
Certified, but I don't think anybody else.
So I'm sure that is something that we could, we could include, and maybe even where we could work as a group to do it collectively. I don't know that necessarily needs to be a part of the policy, but what, we could write that language in there.
I agree with you on that, and even up there in the office where y'all are.
Right.
It doesn't hurt to have that first aid
Right.
certification. Because I'm sure y'all have to have it to be an officer, right, Becky? Or in the fire department. But that's something to think about. It's offered from
Right,
RCC.
right.
Sure. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we do the approval of amendment to the personnel policy, section 32.058.
So we have a motion from Councilwoman Jessica Smith. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second from Councilman Bennett. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is, we have no old business, and we're going to go to the town administrative report.
The only information or update that I want to give at this time is, so in speaking with Christy Smith with a claim, as well as Clayton Doss, the building inspector did come in to the bank It did not pass the final inspection. There's 3 minor things that Mr. Doss is going to have to work on. He assured me this afternoon that that should be completed by tomorrow and that the building inspector will be back. But with that, in addition to the weather, because Christie's desire was to have her staff in there, and I'm not sure how much they actually were able to be in there to make sure that everything was working well before they did a final date to open. So what we're looking at now is with everything that's going on, completing these few checklist items and passing final inspection, she is anticipating now with a potential opening date of February 17th. So that would be the day after President's Day. And so that is where we're at this point in time. No.
I want to personally thank Bowers and your team for what y'all did. I know y'all worked a long, hard, cold, wet, everything for hours. And I can say I'm very proud. I think y'all did a great job. Becky, Chief Dixon, thank y'all for what y'all done too and what you continue to do. I mean, a lot of times, and I say this many times, we don't say thank you, but we do appreciate it. And if you keep our, both of y'all keep our town safe, we appreciate it. And thank you. Yes. Jessica, do you want to speak?
Yeah, I can. I don't think this is gonna stay long.
Yeah, I think these are on.
Yeah, I'll try. So I handed you all, since she couldn't be here, it's just a 2-page handout, Public Works Police Department. So the Color Up Stoneville event that you guys agreed to partner with the PTO from Stoneville Elementary School for March 28th. These are being distributed everywhere. You're gonna be sick of seeing them on social media, and then they went out, they're going out via dojo to kids and schools. So the second sheet is just to really give you the update or the status on it, because you all are helping us with the streets and just coordination that day. So we have secured from multiple schools. You'll see like National Anthem is coming out of Moorhead High School, the flag presentations from Scouts, there's a DJ, there's a pep band from Western Rockingham, cheerleaders from both Western Rockingham and McMichael, possibly others. They keep coming in. So we continue to pick up additional people from across the county and photo booths. So the registration is open. It talks about what it covers. Currently we're at, I believe it's 7 confirmed food and drink trucks. We had some additional ones, another one confirmed today. Additional vendors are still coming in. We were at 11 confirmed. Color sponsors, we were at 5. We're planning to have approximately 10 plus color stations. That's where the businesses are involved. So if the local businesses are coming in and setting those up, but we have 5 confirmed already. We did reach out. We rented porta-johns to take care of that, talking to Waste Management for the trash collection. The parking confirmation with Southern Finishing has been done with Eddie and his team. So that's been taken care of. And then there's a picture at the bottom of the route, and we actually kept it completely off of the main road, which I know you're excited about. So, yeah, so we did that, so hopefully we help you guys out with that. So we're coming back up Stone Street and then getting that extra distance behind the school. So just to give you a plan there, 8 a.m. opens registration. So it'll be busy in town that day. So we just want to make sure that if you all have any questions, Dolly was planning to speak, but since our meeting got moved earlier, she couldn't be here. But if y'all have any questions, I mean, obviously I'm part of planning for this event, so you can also reach out to me or anybody on the PTO would be happy to answer it. We're trying to cover all the bases. I think we have, but there's always the chance that we've forgotten something, so raise the flag if you think of something. I know the other thing we talked about with Chief Dixon was talking to the people who live on the run path for that day.
Have y'all done that, or you need
No,
to?
I was waiting for you
Okay,
to give me go,
Let's-
don't go.
Let's look at next week.
Okay.
Weather.
No, I agree, since there may be more, so yeah, so that's good. So we were gonna specifically talk to people who live on the route, but that's left still to be done.
Very good. All right, if that's nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Jessica Smith, a second.
Second.
A second, Councilman Thornton, all in favor?
Aye.